Hello, sports fans! Welcome to Total War Live. We're back for round 2 of Warhammer 2 multiplayer here on the CA Civil War, only on the Total War Live channel, Total War Official. Guys, how we doing? We're having a good time. Yeah, without further ado, let's introduce our contenders. We've got 2 newbies here on the newbies in the stream sense.
God,
you know.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Straight in there with the insults.
Just go.
So, Mitch, do you want to introduce yourself to anyone who has never seen you before?
Yeah, so I'm Mitch. I'm a designer on the new content team.
Tell us about that.
I can't.
All right, let's pass that mic over to your boss.
Yeah, he really can't, otherwise I'll have to fire him.
Yeah. Big Rich himself is here.
That would be quite something, wouldn't it?
Big Rich is here. He's in his sportswear.
I am.
You're ready.
Go
You're
Mariners.
Pumped. Go Seahawks.
Go Seahawks. Yeah, so I'm Rich. I'm the lead designer of the new content team. So we do all sorts of weird and wonderful things, which hopefully you've been enjoying.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that plans are in the works for Warhammer 2, but we can't talk about any of that.
Not just today.
Can't talk about any of that yet, but we're going to be having a fantastic look at some Warhammer 2 multiplayer, and you're going to be joining us in the battles as well.
Getting right stuck in there with my favourite lizardmen, fingers crossed.
Hopefully you've been practicing, Rich. Hopefully. We're also joined by a YouTuber as well, JackieFish. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. I guess I'm going to have to try and help the community versus CA today.
Yeah, so you are representing everyone in the audience.
I am indeed.
So no pressure.
Do I get my achievement if I beat you guys?
Maybe.
I better.
I don't know how that works. You will be playing on my Steam account, so...
Oh, will I get you the achievement?
I already have the achievement because that's how it works. So, who knows? But right next to you, we also have the man himself, the creator of Free For All, Oscar Anderson.
And the loser of last round.
So you're looking to redeem yourself in this one, and
yeah, I'm looking out for revenge.
That sounds scary.
0-4.
0-4. Oh my god. The heat is dropping already.
I know. Ducks are going to come out the sky.
Dogbert is sitting over there on the desk right now, waiting to do some commentary. We are going to be the commentary duo for this stream. Just waiting for him to pop up on the screen any second now. We'll be with you any second now, sports fans. There he is. I'm fisting him right now. So we're going to be ready for this stream very soon. First of all, we're going to have to find out who we're playing as. So, guys, are there any particular factions that anyone here is looking to play as? Jackie, I know that you're looking forward to hopefully playing some High Elves.
Yeah, I hope I get the High Elves because I haven't really played much of the other factions, and that's going to be my excuse if I lose.
Yeah,
because I just haven't played them.
So you don't want High Elves?
Well, I do want High Elves.
Just in case you do lose?
Oh, yeah, that's actually very true. At least that way I have an excuse.
Right, now, Oscar, you came last, so you're looking to maybe mix things up, but you still rate the High Elves. You think that they've got the power in them, and this is a newer build, so
yeah,
the balance has been tweaked.
I'd say in this build, High Elves are going to do good.
Unless
the player quality drops them down, but should be good.
Rich, Lord of the DLC, how are you feeling? What faction do you want?
I would like the Lizardmen. They're my tabletop, fanboy faction. So if I get those, I'll be very happy. But if I get something else, we'll see how we go with it. Skaven Slaves, or maybe some shades from Dark Elves. Let's see what happens.
Lots of options. Hand that mic over to Mitch. Mitch, I know you're a big Lizardman fan too.
Well, last time I beat Oscar with a Lizardman.
Didn't beat me though, did you? Didn't beat me.
No,
throwing that one out there.
Yeah, that was just a poor game. But yeah, I wouldn't mind some Lizardmen. The ones I really don't want is probably Skaven, just because I'm not too familiar with them. And
no, I love the Skaven. I rate them, and I think they've got a lot of tools in the bag. So if you get them. I don't think it'll be alright. I think it'll be alright.
I've heard that the Dark Elves are pretty good as well.
Yeah,
there's a lot of chat about them.
I heard Gary actually put all the stats up before the game so that he could cheat his way to victory.
Right.
That's
Makes
what
sense.
I heard.
Makes
sense. Murderous prowess plus 400 melee attack. Right. Without further ado, Mitch, you are the last person to chat, so let's have you as the first person to spin, and let's find out who you're going to be playing as.
All right, let's do this.
That looks to me like. Who you got?
High Elves.
I thought it was going to be Skaven the way you put that.
Pop that mic over. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Oscar said that they're better on this build. No,
oh, they are.
They've kind of
they're a lot better.
They've been brought up to power apparently. So
okay.
And
I might have to get some tips off Oscar, and then maybe I'll stand a chance. So yeah, not the end of the world. Not Skaven. But not Lizardmen. So
okay. Well, let's see who the DLC Lord himself gets. Rich, give that big old wheel a spin. That was a tame spin.
That was.
Who are you going up for there?
Who have we got?
Lizardman.
Lizardman, yes.
So you've got your fanboy faction.
Well, you know, that was kind of a lucky little spin there, wasn't it?
You knew exactly how to spin that wheel.
I've waited it at the back. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with that.
Are we going to see a lot of dinosaurs coming out?
Of course you're going to see dinosaurs. It's Lizardmen. It's the Aztecs rocking dinosaurs shooting lasers. So what?
Fantastic.
You know,
All right,
fashion.
Jackie, you're up.
Okay. Hopefully I get the high elves. And I do.
High Elves again.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a Lizardmen v High Elves first round, because we can now announce that the DLC Lord himself, Rich, as the Lizardmen, is going to be taking on the community champion in JackieFish, playing the High Elves. So we're going to see a slight little rematch of the third place show-off. And we'll see how that goes. But last but not least, let's get Oscar finding out who he's going to be playing as.
It's going to be fun. Oh, shit.
What's your language, Oscar? Oh, who you got?
I got Lizardman.
Lizardmen. That's a double. That is a double. We're going to have the same match twice.
Well,
Fantastic.
I'm sure we can mix it up with some different units and
Yeah.
characters. Should be fun.
Yeah.
I know that Rich is going to take a wacky build. I'm seeing that. I foresee that coming.
Definitely if it was Skaven, but yeah, we'll see.
All right. We're going to have a slight little ad break. So we'll be with you in just a few seconds to start off our next game. You guys are going to be now heading over to your stations, getting ready. And good luck, because in the CA Civil War,
You'll need it. So
you'll need the luck. All right, we'll be with you in just...
Millennia ago, a great vortex was forged to protect the world from a terrible threat. Now this vortex falters, and all stands at the brink of ruin. From all sides, powerful forces gather to harness its energies for their own purposes. The noble High Elves, proud defenders of Oswan. From the jungles of Lustria come the cold-blooded Lizardmen. The Skaven stir in vast subterranean lairs. And the sadistic Dark Elf hordes spew forth from Naggaroth. The race is on. And the fate of the world will lie in the hands of the victor.
And we're back. Dogbert, you're finally on screen.
And with a mic this time.
And with a mic.
You know, I thought I'd be a little quieter and let you guys do all the introductions. I usually just end up sitting there rambling for 5 minutes, and then everyone gets impatient because we haven't got a game to show. But everything's set up. It's going to be Rich with Lizardmen versus JackieFish with High Elves. I usually call them something completely different. We did an entire arena broadcast where I literally called them the wrong name for 3 hours.
Love it.
So I kind of want to do that again, but maybe it will really annoy. But I'm going to get really confused because he's got your account.
He is. He's representing me in this battle. So
it's one way to get yourself a win, I guess.
it is. It is one way to get myself a win. Get the stats
Hire
up
out your
nice and
skill
early.
to someone else. Bring in a mercenary, literally. So yeah, we can. So obviously we can see what JackieFish's build is already.
Yeah.
And I played a bit of High Elves yesterday. Did some free-for-all battles.
Ooh.
And I almost won. And I do enjoy the fact you have the hybrid, spear and archer units.
The Loth and Sea Guard are a very cool unit. Yeah,
next
those
time
spear and archers.
I'll
Very,
make
very
sure to
powerful.
take them with shields next time, as it got very painful in my game.
Well,
But we'll talk about that later. When
Before we do anything, let's have a look at the stats, because we have the stat sheets ready to go as well. So first of all, let's get the fight card up for our community champion JackieFish,
who is coming in. He's stolen my haircut. He's ready to go. He is a Total War YouTuber, as many people in the chat probably know. He's a new kid on the block looking to prove himself in these tepid waters. And, of course, he is fighting as the community champion. How do you feel about Dogbert? How do you feel about that?
I think Dogbert is easily one of the best Total War players the world has ever seen.
How do you feel about JackieFish,
Oh,
Dogbert?
he's definitely second to Dogbert. But no, he's an incredibly good player. He is one of the oldest Total War YouTubers going.
Is he?
I think he's the oldest UK. He originally came here for a Shogun 2 event a long time ago. He actually brought Lionheart along to his first event. So yeah, he's been established himself in the community for a long time. First time we've had him on one of these. So
I love you're dropping the lore of the JackieFish lore. Let's get the second stat sheet up for our second contender, who is Rich Aldridge, and we see him here with the powerful fist. He is the lead developer of the new content team. He is also said to have the strength of 1,000 men, and of course he is the DLC lord himself. You're rocking the fist now, James, as we go back into the camera,
showing it the actual reason for it.
I love how we've had to put the Total War logo over.
Branded it.
And this is our special sports fans cast
this
week.
Obviously, we're in the game now, so let's go in and see what we've got. Let's have a look at Rich Aldridge's army. Oh, we've
kicked off already. My God,
I like it when they do this. So it looks like, let's see this army here. We've got some Chameleon Skinks. We also got 2 Skink Skirmishers, and that's 4 altogether.
Yep.
Making up his flank. In the centre, he's got Skink Cohorts of Javelins. This is a very interesting
army. It's a very skinky army.
He's got the Croxigors. He also has the Basildon with the
Rev Crystal.
Yeah, the crystal.
The Rev Crystal.
Skink Priest on a mount, and also he's got Krotgar as well on a
cold one. Interesting.
Interesting.
Bit
And
of maneuverability.
Pterodon Riders. So this is a very interesting army.
He's gone for a very skirmishy army, so I feel like he's going to try and just take them out from the side. So there's obviously a lot of archer fire that he's going to have to deal with on the other side, but we're going to see that right now. So let's look at the army that Jackie has brought.
Yeah, this is going to be very useful.
Already a lot of damage going on
in
those skirmishes.
So he also has Dragon Prince's really powerful shot cav. He also has got the Eagle Claw Bolt Throw. Absolutely amazing looking unit. He has a big front row of archers here. They're the cheaper ones, or at least the first ones you can get, no armor. And he's buffed up his spearmen as well, so they're all silver tier. And then at the back he's got his White Lions and Phoenix Guard. And he has Tyrion on his mount, and he also has a Sun Dragon as well.
I think maybe just taking 1 Phoenix Guard isn't the wisest choice. He does have some large monsters he's got to deal with, and those Croctigors, and 2 Stegodons as well. So definitely a lot to take on.
I think Jackie's got a great army here, actually. I think he has all the tools he needs. The skirmishers are obviously going to hurt. He needs to really just hold that ammunition down and just focus really on the monstrous creatures. Hitting them into Berserk is going to really help.
Yeah.
Oh, into Rampage. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I think Rich is coming up here to drop a big spell, and this is a big blob here. So let's see how this goes. What's he going to cast?
Either that, or he's just let his lord just charge into a hail of arrow fire.
Well, that's possible as well.
He's taking a lot of damage now from those arrows and from that siege equipment there.
Definitely doesn't want to be doing this. You can see JackieFish has already brought up his Sun Dragon as well. Cavalry's taken some hits, but they are in a good place. There you go. There's that spell. Gone for the Vortex.
Oh, we've gone right into those Phoenix Guard. That's probably going to be quite tasty for him, taking out that anti-large. Look at the damage it's done to those Phoenix Guard.
There's nothing left. They've just suffered massively. Yeah, I don't know if it really should have took your entire half health of your priest to do 1 spell.
Now remember, he does have the Revivification Crystal. He does have the Revivification Crystal, so he can pop that on his Lord if he gets him out of danger in time.
Yeah, he's really spread out here, and that Cav is coming in now as well. You know what, I think he's going to lose his Lord here. Because even if the archers don't finish him off, he's constantly going to get hit by the Eagle Claw at the back, which you can see is firing in here. So yeah, see you later.
Now, I've never actually watched Rich Aldridge play, so I have no idea what level he's at. But I'm seeing some interesting tactics. I knew he was going to take a wacky army because you can never tell what he's going to do. Now, those Croxigors are actually flanking around. It looks like Jackie's not seen them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see JackieFish is kind of turtling up here. He's hiding safe behind his kind of spear units here.
Just dropped in the Sun Dragon.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Rich. He's definitely... He needs to get his priest back in the action here. But he's coming in a bit disorganized, and this is because he just doesn't have enough infantry here. He needs to use his Croxicores to kind of hit and run, and not to leave them around too long.
And in come the Phoenix Guard, which is biggest problem at the moment. And they've got Stand Your Ground dropped on them.
Yeah, this is not looking good at all. You can see over here, Crockgore came in, but Tyrion's in there as well. Tyrion's really, really powerful one-on-one, and I think he's gonna probably make short work of Crockgore, especially if he doesn't bring in some reinforcements. But this is a problem. He doesn't have any reinforcements because his army's all skirmish.
Another spell dropping here now, and he needs to be careful because that could drop on his own skirmishes there.
Yeah, but
and that's wasted a lot as it's going through the gap, but it's just going to come into those archers now.
Just in time.
Oh, look at the damage it does when it hits. Get that in a big juicy blob. That's going to really, really take people out.
I think that's dev hacks to actually get those to hit the right things, but it doesn't matter because over here he's about to lose his Crockgar, and with that, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep his cohesion going now. I mean, this is just JackieFish just completely outplaying.
Crockgar gone now.
Crockgar gone. You know, his reliance now is on heavy amount of skirmishers.
Just want to point out, Richard's got a sneaky little unit hidden right at the back of the map there. Skink skirmishers, which have just rallied. Almost running out of the battlefield. I have
no idea how they are there and what he's doing.
They must be
I wish I never had to click on
fast.
that. You know, I'm sure he's a lot better at baseball than he is at Lizard Man. He's got his. He's going to kill me. The Pterodons is using them in combat, but JackieFish just has all the answers here.
Yeah.
He's got his spears in the right place. You know, he didn't take many big units, and when he did, he used them correctly. Most of his army is kind of the cheaper spears and archers, and because he has a core of infantry, he has options. And meanwhile, Rich and the army he's taken really was just a one-trick pony, and you know, was completely shut down almost from the beginning. I
think he just didn't have a core of infantry that he could use to take out those spears, because once again, that was a front line of spearmen who are not going to stand up to Saurus warriors.
No,
so had he taken a strong front line, this could have been a whole other story.
Just one unit cav, and he's able to just chase down all skirmishers. You know, he's got spears and range to deal with some of the monstrous creatures. And you know, as soon as the Lizardmen go into out of control, I think a lot of people, the way that Lizardmen play, you know, they're very, very dangerous. You hit them and you lose control of them. They're going to stay there and they're going to fight, but they are not. The player is not choosing who they're fighting.
Yeah.
And against armies, especially, like, you know, against all three of the other factions in Warhammer 2, you know, they have a lot of range units, and that plays really heavy into their favour. And you can just allow the Lizardmen to go into the frenzy, and then you can just start picking off the units you want. You kite them around and use your superior range to just do them in.
I think, as people have pointed out, Rich has tried to out-skirmish the High Elves, which is just not going to work out. They had so much maneuverability, especially with that dragon, with that aerial support. They can come straight in and just take out anyone they need to.
If you're playing a one-on-one, you've got to bring, in most cases, either an absolute cheese army or a balanced army. And what you have here is JackieFish bringing a very balanced army, but could respond pretty much either way. And Rich Aldridge going for a one-trick pony of his magic, and it wasn't really there. I think using Croxicores is definitely doable.
Yeah,
but you need more than two.
Need more than two. Now that Ancient Stegodon has done a lot of damage this round, but it's just taken so much of his own.
But if we want to have a look at kills, I've got a feeling these guys have done pretty well. Yeah, they've spent most of this game having to chase after the skink skirmishers, who, you know,
they've done a decent job. To be fair to them, they've actually they've been rallying quite quickly, which means that they can come back in and shoot those targets who have just tried to leave them alone as they chase them down.
They can shoot and move, and that dragon is taking a bit of damage. Maybe we're selling him too short. Maybe he's got like an epic strategy and it's paying off.
Who knows?
Right now.
I feel like he needs to use another spell just whilst he's got that Rev Crystal still alive.
I think the mistake here is he hasn't got his troops off skirmish mode. Because right now, I would... Jesus! Tyrion's just kind of like riding all of them down. Oh, hello!
In he comes.
I would just turn and fire on this dragon. Oh my god.
Oh no, you don't turn on fire on those though.
They're just done. Like, see you later. And there you go.
And that was it.
Just in time.
That was a whitewash.
It was.
Wasn't quite as bad as my final.
I was literally about to go.
But this is the thing, right? If you build your army wrong, you can get completely torn to pieces. And I think that was the crux of it. Rich to take just completely the wrong army.
There's things he could have done with that army. which would have negated that. And one of them is most definitely not throwing Krokgar into solo combat with 4 units.
Or sending your showpiece unit straight up into the front.
Throwing the skirmishers up front, getting rid of that archer fire, using that as a kind of buffer to bring in your priest to do the big spells, that would have worked perfectly. I think it was more the uncoordinated attacks all across the board. Total War is a very complex game in multiplayer, and you've got lots and lots to micro and control. The best way is to try and limit that by making sure that you hit everything at once, so you don't have to worry about bringing stuff around here. If your front line is here, and you know they're just going to either engage in combat or shoot over, let them do that, and then focus on the flanks.
Another thing that we can point out, 208 kills on those Dragon Prince.
Yeah, but like I was saying, that's totally down to the Rich's army here.
He's just come in looking very perplexed.
It's the damage is there. It's all in the casting, and that obviously was the strategy there for Big Rich. Just get wiped out. So yeah, that was that.
Let's get the couch camera up so that we can have a look at our... Oh, coming in from 2 angles apparently now.
Space.
So, guys, where did it go wrong? Where did it go wrong?
I had a fun time. With my
You're not here to have fun, Rich!
Yeah, I mean, Jackie made it that I've got to come on to him, and I was hoping that I was going to do some serious damage with my skinks with the poison, but it wasn't meant to be. And you rained down some terror on top of my guys, and my Kroxigors never really got to do the thing that I wanted them to do, is go and munch you up, so, yeah.
So, Jackie, where did it go right?
Well, I feel like the Elven Spearmen, who have anti-large, just do a lot of damage to like most of the Lizardmen units. So I could just use them to hold the Kroxigors, and then the entire time my archers were just piling down on your back line.
It was a reign of terror, yeah.
And dinosaurs I just didn't rout though, whatsoever. No. It was brutal. I was scared I was going to lose at one point, because I killed your general kind of early on.
Yes, you did.
And then it just didn't make an effect to your army at all. They were just still there. I was like, what's going on?
The skinks are pretty good at just like holding it down.
Yeah,
they're not going to rampage and sort of go crazy. But I mean, obviously you've got to keep them under control, the little pesky chaps that are running here, there and everywhere. So, yeah.
Were you trying to skirmish him to death in that battle?
I was, but that's because that's what I do in tabletop. So I remember really annoying James Witston by doing that in the game, and he just couldn't catch me up. But hey, didn't work in our game, did it?
It's all right. You can try and redeem yourself in the 3rd place. So it's going to be Magic Mitch taking on Oscar. As
Mitch is not looking too excited about this battle.
It's fine. At least I'm going to win 3rd place. I'm not impressed with either of those performances.
I think you're going to do just fine. It's
all
going to
right,
be a good fight.
Me and Oscar were just saying, actually, that last time we played, I was Lizardmen beating him as High Elves, and now I'm High Elves against his Lizardmen.
So what you're saying is we should do another spin of the Wheel of Factions?
Well, we can do. It's just me and Oscar have swapped factions. I don't mind spinning it again. It's up to
you guys. If you want to take the risk of spinning again, I am all for it.
If you both shake on it, this is what this match is all about. We are debuting the new Wheel of Factions. We haven't spoken about it properly. We have a brand new Wheel of Factions.
Which is completely off camera.
Completely off camera. Well, it's sort of
Rich, there's no camera behind you. Like, move it.
Hold it up. Look at this beautiful Wheel of Factions that Leo has made a new faceplate for. You can see the faceplate like falling off mid-air.
Chat is asking us to spin.
Okay.
Who do you want?
I don't know, really.
No, let's do another round of spins. See where we get. I mean, that way there's at least a chance of getting more factions.
Boys, I want you to shake on it.
All right,
if we've got a handshake on the spin. All right, the spin is confirmed. The spin is
confirmed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all happening here. Hold it up and spin, Oscar. We want to see the result. We want to see the result. Chat are mad for the spin. Come on. Let's see what he gets.
Oh, wait.
That's a pretty weak spin. What do you got there? We're shining.
You got
Skaven. Okay, now I'm rating that.
It's time for you to awkwardly hold it while holding a mic.
Some Dark Elves.
Oh. So, Mitch going for the classic tactic of choose the race that won last time. And let's see what he gets. Dark Elves! Oh my goodness!
I'm up for that one.
It's fixed. It's completely fixed.
I'm a happy man.
It's going to be good.
What I love about the new Wheel of Factions is that the wheel spins and the faceplate spins the opposite direction at the same time, so you never know what you're going to get.
My personal favourite is how bright it is. You can't see it. It's just like there's a new sun in here.
Yeah.
All right, let's get these boys on their machines. Let's get you hosting a game. Make sure you pick a new map. We don't want to see the one-prac culture. It was very nice, but we want to see some new terrain, see some new battle maps that we can play on. And chat, who do we think is going to win this matchup? The Dark Elves under Mitch or the Skaven under Oscar? Let's have a rat emoji for the Skaven and anything. Those purple fire hands for the Dark Elves.
Purple fire hands.
Purple fire hands for the Dark Elves.
It must be another.
That's
kind
pretty
of
Dark
Elf
Elf.
one.
That's pretty Dark.
We need to find one for us for like just for continuing on with our streams.
Yeah, we need to just make some. I think that's what we need to do.
I think that would be a great idea.
We need some custom Warhammer 2 emojis. That's what we need.
Make it happen, sir. Make it happen.
Jeggly says we need to nerf the Wheel of Factions because it's currently OP. I don't think
According
so.
to
I think it
retinas
needs a buff. I think it needs a buff. I think the Wheel of Factions needs a buff.
Damn, there you go. Well,
that's
there
a lot of Dark
actually
Elves.
One there, yeah.
That is
Dark
a lot of
Elves.
Dark Elves.
A dog for some reason.
Yep.
Someone's really struggling.
Oh, have we actually got Witch Elves? That would have been a better thing to go for, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at the fight cards for our next contenders. First up, of course, we have last place in the last stream, Oscar Anderson, who we tagged as the winner at the start. We thought Oscar was going to bring this one home.
I didn't. I called this, remember? I was like perfect in my picks. Oscar, obviously, incredibly good multiplayer player from the community, is played as Agony Duck back in the day. And is now working on the team in the company and is doing a lot on free for all. So we're going to see a lot more of that in the coming few days.
So he is the associate battle designer, of course, and he is looking to redeem himself. But let's see who he's coming up against in Magic Mitch himself, Mitch Heasty, the campaign designer of the new content team. Now, he came third place in last week's tournament, and of course, he is the lead designer of Bretonia. So if you're a Bretonia fan, make sure you're chanting Mitch's name in this battle. I think this is probably going to be a pretty even match, I have to say. We've got the two elf factions coming up against each other, the bitter rivals, and we got two good players as well. What do you think?
I think if the way I see this game going, this is a guess, by the way. What's the password? Type it in there. I think what you're going to see is Mitch is going to go for a heavy kind of anti-infantry build, and Oscar's going to go a mix of rat ogres, or it's going to be the other way around. One of them's going to think the other's going to go for a lot of large or something, and it's going to be it might end up being a bit of a mess for one of them. I would say Dark Elves kind of got a bit of an edge in that sense that they've got that murderous prowess against Skaven, so I kind of think they can really buff it up. But I don't know. I think it's a good matchup because Skaven can bring quite a lot to the table. They can bring a lot of variety when it comes to their army selection. And there is just a lot there.
And, you know, people see the Skaven as this, like, big horde of weak units, but you can take those elite units, those Storm Vermin, especially against high F cavalry, are going to be really useful. And things like the big siege weapons with the crazy amounts of damage they can do. And, of course, the Doom Wheel, super maneuverable, super hard-hitting when it gets into those charges. There's plenty of options that Duck can go for in this scenario. So still picking his army at the moment. It looks like he's probably going to go for Lord Skrulk there. Interesting choice. What do you think about that?
I think you're going to see, wow, actually, I see exactly what he's gone for. A complete different idea of my build here. Okay, so he... Yeah, obviously, hopefully Mitch isn't just sitting there watching the stream like, yeah. Well, he is literally behind him. He could probably just watch the screen. So he's going to take some artillery, and he's going to take a lot of the... I think they're the monks, aren't they?
Yeah, so we've got some Plague Monks over there. Not the armor-piercing variant, but the just the standard damage-dealing variant. We've also got some Skaven Slaves, which are gloriously cheap at 125 gold coins. Bear in mind, guys, stats, stuff like that can change up until launch. So don't treat this as like a given of what they're going to spend. We've also got some... It looks like we've got some Death Runners coming in there. And
yeah,
we've also got some Storm Vermin.
I think they're the Slingers. They're incredibly cheap. And this is where I think kind of Skaven have this little advantage compared to some of the other factions. Really, really, really cheap skirmish units. And if you're not such an experienced player in multiplayer, as soon as someone starts shooting you, you basically just drop any kind of idea of strategy and march forward. And that's why I think Skaven are going to be quite a good matchup every so often, not all the time, against Lizardmen. You just set them off basically with large amounts of cheap skirmishers and just lead them down the garden path. So you can see Duck here has gone for artillery. He's got Tunes of Stormbearman, you know, for that anti-large. That's going to be protecting his flanks against any cavalry and obviously monstrous creatures or flying.
Yep.
And then the rest of his infantry are literally looking to that burst damage and just to go through that front line. The danger of this strategy really is going to be how he deals with murderous prowess when it gets hit off. And it will get hit off at some point.
And this is the thing about the Dark Elves. It's all about timing, right? As soon as you get that murderous prowess in, it's going to really benefit you. But if you trigger that at the wrong time because you've just been taking the wrong combats and you're getting yourself the kills that you don't really need at that time, you're not in the right place when it triggers, that can actually completely crumble your army if you're not careful. So lots to think about.
Obviously, the Dark Elves don't have a say in when it hits off. Obviously, it's done based off how many kills they do. So it all comes down to obviously picking your engagement. But I think that's where the strength is. It's very difficult for someone to be able to disengage without throwing away a lot of cheap units. Yes, I've seen that in chat.
Yeah, De Bears then asks, what's with the Mariners love today? I'm from Seattle and we don't even love the Mariners that much. Well, we're actually Seahawks fans,
yeah,
aren't we?
We're massive Seahawks fans.
We're massive Seahawks fans.
They are absolutely brilliant.
Wearing our Seahawks baseball hats. Probably one of the best hockey teams in the league.
That's good. I'm liking this. All right, so Duck. Well, I mean, Big Rich, he's got the hat. You know, he started
I need to
this
take
trend.
this hat off because it's very hot. Oh,
it's fine. So obviously, it's going to be interesting what Duck brings. I don't know. I've got feeling the way I've had Skaven explained to me is kind of a mix of kind of greenskins and dwarves. Obviously not in the kind of like large amount of armor and so on, but how you have to keep using the abilities to both buff and debuff your enemies. So orcs use a lot of debuff spells on their enemies, and obviously dwarves use a lot of armor buffs and so on with their runes. So we'll see.
It looks like we're dropping in now, and we can see just what the guys have taken. Have a little look at the formations they set up in as well. We're playing on River Amaxon. I believe that's how it's pronounced. So it looks like we're going to be in Lustrian jungle territory, I believe.
Wonder what river's up based off. I have no idea.
Who knows? Here we are in a beautiful map. Look at all the Lustrian temples in the background. Looking glorious.
It's a lovely map. I love the maps so much in Warhammer 2. There's just so much more atmosphere and so much more to see. I especially love the small settlement battles as well. There's so much there to see. You'll be able to see. Obviously, if you've been watching on streams, you'll be able to see a lot of that as well. And obviously, we've got more coming tomorrow.
Yes.
And over the weekend.
Yeah. So over the next 2 days, we're going to be playing as the High Elves with Tyrion and Teclis on both days, and you're going to be playing with Dev and then Team JJ.
Yeah, Team JJ's back. Starting tomorrow. So we got our Skaven slaves here making up that meat shield at the front. A very annoying meat shield, I'll tell you. Ooh, I know he's put some Death Runners over in that corner. Some Death Runners
These
here
Death
as well.
Runners are brutal, by the way. So they cost about 950, 1,000, something around there.
Yeah.
So they're basically going to be constant stalk, super fast, damage dealers, and they corrode armor. And they're very, very, very dangerous.
Armor corrosion, obviously. That's just brutal. So let's have a look at what Magic Mitch has brought to the battle here. He's got Cold War. Oh my jeez. What is... Mitch!
Interesting.
Okay. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
They're all anti-large. They're all anti-large. I mean, he's got a unit over here of Corsairs with crossbows.
Do you think he just doesn't think he's going to win, so he's just going for the kookiest tactic he can?
Well, he's got himself a war Hydra. He's buffed that
Buff that War Hydra. That is 3 silver chevrons.
I bet Malekith has like all the spells as well.
No, just one. Just one or two.
Soul Sealer.
Direct damage and a Blade Wind. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can just keep spamming these.
Yeah.
He doesn't have...
And what's the cost on that? 11 and 18. So they are quite expensive.
Oh, this is going to be painful. He's going to get instantly hit with artillery.
Yeah, so 2 Plague Claw catapults coming in at the moment.
So this
Look
is
at the damage they're going to do. And those guys are also going to cause a certain type of damage that's actually going to drop their leadership as well, and you can see that taking effect already.
Yeah, the worst thing it's going to be for Mitch here is the fact that he's going to have to move forward into this pit of Skaven, this quagmire. That artillery is just going to constantly hit, but he's going to very difficult for him to keep control of the Cold One Dread Knights because
they will go out of control.
Yeah, and they will just get stuck in. And you know, that is going to feed for the Storm Vermin here. The only advantage he might have here is there's a significant lack of spear units.
Yeah.
But
so how many Storm Vermin has he taken in?
Just 2.
Just 2.
So he's got 2 spear units.
That's enough. That is enough. You know, there's not a lot of models in those Cold One Knights.
He needs to engage.
They can get completely surrounded by a huge group of Storm Vermin.
He needs to just get in combat, but this is not looking good. It's all basically, once again, it's a kind of one-trick pony approach. Needs to make sure that magic from Malekith does a lot, but I don't think he has enough magic to do it. And there's enough slingers here that you can just constantly keep peppering Malekith.
I feel like we're going to get a Blade Wind at some point. That's probably
that's coming.
He should have taken one of the breath
spells. This is
probably.
exactly what he's doing. Yeah, you just want any spell, basically, it's going to be able to like mess up. You can see Oscar here, he knows that's coming in, so he's just going to start spreading units out. Doesn't really have to worry about a front line, so he can play a skirmish heavy for a little.
And he's probably going to go after those Plague Monks, maybe go after the Storm Vermin if he can get them tied down. But I feel like Duck's going to be smart enough to make sure his Storm Vermin are moving around, make sure they don't get hit by those spells.
See that cavalry's coming in. That artillery, though, that's just a really good use. This is one thing Skaven have over some of the other factions, is that use of magic. Or, sorry, everyone has used magic, but definitely kind of, you know, actually, I don't know, I was going with that. I got lost.
They are the specialist artillery faction in Warhammer 2. They have the most options, so they've got maneuverable artillery in your Doom Wheel, but they've also got their catapults, they've got lightning cannons, which have that anti-large and very, very straight arc of fire. So lots of stuff that they can play around with, lots of fun. They've also got the 2 showpiece units in their Plague Furnace, which is going to just drop damage around it. You've also got the Screaming Bell, which can buff and debuff. Lots of crazy stuff they can bring in.
So that spell's being dropped down on Malekith. He's not having the best time of it. Lord Soak, he's also having to deal with the Noxious Gale, but this is just a really messy fight here. I'm interested to see when that... has he got his... you see, he's thrown in his calf here, trying to get behind on the artillery.
Yeah.
But they're just not having a good time. All the engagements here are going to go Oscar's way.
Had that been an anti-infantry cavalry, they would have been having a great time. But coming up against, you know, Plague Monks, sure, they're not in their ideal scenario, but those guys do deal damage, and you can look and see how much damage those Dread Knights are taking.
Withers down there, and that puts them down on -30 armor. There's the Blade Wind, but just not really where it needs to be. And you can just see the answer is always spear units somewhere, and they're just shutting down all these Cold Ones.
And as soon as those Cold Ones gets engaged, if they get too hot and heavy, they will start going out of control, and at that point you can't bring them out. So even though they're a very powerful unit, get them in the wrong engagements, you could lose them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and they're able to get a handful of good engagements, but I just don't think they're doing enough here, really, and not quick enough either.
A lot of people in chat pressing F to pay respects at the moment.
You can see that Malekith's going for the artillery. He has to do something. He needs to turn this into a skirmish battle, really. He has that kind of advantage right now.
Another thing we haven't even talked about, it's all happening in this little section of forest, which means that those large units are going to get a penalty.
Yeah, cavalry obviously never really good in this environment, and Skaven using that to advantage. These Plague Monks are just eating them up, really.
Dalek Sephoral says, actually, never mind, I'm not going to pay my respects for such a disgraceful performance.
Lord Snoke, he's just running around, and he's got so many spells. We really need to go into a few. He's got he's got 2 direct damage spells, items. Sorry.
Yeah, one of which is an item.
This is why he's able to do so much damage to Malekith. But obviously, Malekith has an ability of his own where he's able to, you know, leech off life as well. So
Malekith is probably the last bastion of hope for these guys. Now, if he can get in the right engagements and separate people out, he will be able to do quite a lot of damage. And you see, the balance of power isn't too far out of favour for Mitch, but obviously he needs to be very careful about everything he does from now on. That Hydra, of course, has the regen, so hopefully that's going to get some health bringing back.
Yeah, so Malekith needs to come over here and start helping his troops over here. This is a lost cause over there. Numbers-wise, we're looking at 155 to 1,000.
I mean, he only started with 340, to be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair.
The problem is the Storm Vermin are just all, you know, he has no units basically that can deal with them, except for maybe his shades over here. I love these guys.
They are very, very cool.
I just love the crossbows.
Rocking that top knot. Looking great.
War Hydra, you know, doing what we can, but it's a bad engagement when Storm Vermin
coming up against Storm Vermin is just not going to be a good engagement for this guy.
Damn.
And although he can really throw people around, or rats in this case.
Indeed.
Now Malekith, however, has just singled out this damage-dealing unit over to the left.
I think Mitch just decided he would just drop his own Vortex spell on top of his own troops. Didn't really work.
Outrageous.
I think that probably hurt the Hydra more than anything.
He's lost the plot.
And you can just see more and more Skaven are coming out of the woods. That artillery is probably going to get back into action.
Now what he's trying to do here is he's actually trying to use those shades to come and try and whittle down some of those Storm Vermin.
Surprised Malekith's going to run away from this. It's kind of a bit of a chase here. Got
How
War
many
Hydra
losses
chasing.
have the Skaven taken out of interest?
What's that?
How many losses have the Skaven taken out of interest?
Probably about half.
Yeah,
No, not even that. Only about 600.
So they've lost about 600
under
units.
600.
Once again, you see those shades firing into those Storm Vermin, taking off a decent chunk with each volley.
But he's going to be forced to have to come forward again because the artillery's back up.
Yeah.
So once again, Mitch is going to have to go on the offensive. And you know, just cheap units are just causing so much trouble, able to chase after. These guys could probably just turn around in combat and win.
Yeah.
I mean, they can, probably quite convincingly. But, you know, when you're not paying attention, the units are already on, you know, skirmish. They're just going to run away. Sometimes you can't always micro everywhere across the battlefield.
And of course, you have to remember that if he does engage any of these units into a combat that might not be, you know, in his favour, it might be a bit 60-40, something like that, he is committing one of his only units less on the battlefield. He's got about 4, you know.
There you go, another direct damage spell going down.
Here comes Malekith, and he's going to go straight after Lord Scroll to try and take that out. Now
this could have been the strategy. If he'd gone for this early on, I think that might have worked better in his favour.
And now we see this. Now the Skaven do have
more direct damage.
Skaven do have a spell which can actually stop flying units in their path. Wonder if that's going to come out. I do believe that's a ruin spell though.
There's a lot of magic being used here, but Malekith, you know, he can take the pain in this kind of game. He is just an absolute beast.
So Blake has just dropped Wither, which is going to drop his armor. So he needs to be careful of any
minus
fire
60.
Coming in. Yeah, that is the overcast variant of that.
Yeah.
So he does need to be careful. Just wait for that to drop. And he does have some juicy targets there. He's got those Plague Monks who are going to be easy to mop up.
Still taking a hell of a lot of damage. This Hydra is just not getting the fight done quick enough. You
can see that cap coming down now.
Oh, this is
reaching the limits of which he can regen.
Yeah, he's definitely in a lot of trouble right now. I don't see how he can really recover from this fight. Look at this, still going on.
He's still trying to get his shades away. What is he doing? Get them in, mate.
Yeah.
He's probably just forgotten about them completely. You thought the micro would be better when you've only got 4 units to look after.
Yeah, Magic Mitch not I think Oscar's making a bit of an example on this one.
Yeah, Oscar famously wasn't very happy with his own performance in the first stream, but looks like he's putting every bit of effort he has into this one. In they come now, and those shades are going to take a big old hit in the back.
Yeah, not good
there goes
for them.
That morale.
And this is just like one army, very
balanced. Oh my god.
And another
classic
army.
Skaven firing into their own units there, just because they don't care. Malekith doing his best on that beautiful Black Dragon. Look at the size of that guy's head.
Pulled along for the ride. Oh well. I thought he was just you know, helping him along a little.
That's what happens when you walk in front of a Black Dragon.
More direct damage spells. And there you go. That will be the end of that. So Magic Mitch getting smashed on the street.
I think he needs to lose his Magic title, to be honest.
There was no magic touch in that battle.
Fastest man in Wales, but not the best general.
I'm not even sure that he managed to knock off Murderous Prowess. I don't think that even took off.
No, it didn't drop at all.
Yeah, which is quite surprising. 500 losses for Duck, 264 for Mitch.
The interesting thing about that,
the story.
The interesting thing about that is the Murderous Prowess itself. I do actually think it sort of changes based on the size of the army. So when you're going up against a Skaven, you have to get quite a lot of kills for that to trigger because there are so many bodies on the ground.
Yeah. So, yeah, did not really go his way there. Oscar moves into the final. He's going to be taking on JackieFish.
Snazzy James says, fastest man in Wales. What about Gareth Bale? Just want to point out Gareth Bale is in Spain at the moment.
Who
not in Wales.
Is that? Is he a Seahawks
Let's go
player?
over to the
Seahawks player.
to the couch and let's see what the guys think. How did that go, Rich?
It went terribly, didn't it? I mean, I was pretty shocking, but that wasn't good either. I think Mitch, Mitch will take the win from last week and this week. I think he just pretty much handed it to Oscar, maybe to make him feel good, but
I think he wants third place. I think he wants third place. That's what he wants.
I think he wants to fight me. I think that's it.
You think that's what it is?
It should be a good ding dong, right?
Yeah.
Crash the boss.
Brilliant.
JackieFish, you are of course the only person here in the room who has won this round. So you are technically the most equipped to tell us what went wrong there for Mitch.
I think it was just like kind of like a one-trick build, and if Duck brought some like rat ogres, I think it would have been an effective build. But because he brought kind of a much more larger army, stopping that buff going off from the Dark Elves, and the artillery just went in and kept on getting good hits. And he just managed to control Malekith pretty well as well. So I think he just managed to outperform the army that Mitch thought he was going to take.
So let's go over to Oscar now. Mitch, I want you to sit there and think about what you've done for a bit. So Oscar, what was your plan going into this?
Well, I was expecting sort of a Dark Elf, heavily armored Executioner, Black Ark Corsair type of build. So my plan was to use the Death Runners in combination with Skrulk's Wither to sort of just remove all the armor that the Dark Elves could bring to the fight, and then make use of the great non-armor piercing damage of the Plague Monks. But Mitch had other plans. Basically, Mitch brought a very peculiar build that was sort of undermined by my artillery, because he could have probably kited me, shot at me, taken out my slingers and so forth, but the problem was that those Cold One Knights have Rampage.
Yeah.
So I just focused down on them, and once they were going in, he sort of had to commit, and at the same time half of his army wasn't really meant for committing into the fight. So if Mitch had managed to maybe take out my artillery with Malekith, and then being able to just sort of kite backwards, get Dragon swooping in from the sky, Hydra doing the breaths, could have worked a lot better. And of course Cavalry just doing the flanking, because I think he could have collapsed my morale. But with the Knights gone, he just didn't have the bulk to take me on.
Mitch, what was that?
Not very good.
Did you have a grand strategy on that?
What was the plan?
My strategy was to go upstairs and then ask Warhammer 2's lead battle designer what build I should take.
Take the cheesiest build there is.
So I was going to take a load of executioners and stuff like that, but he was like, no, take this. I listened to him, and I'm not blaming him for everything, but 99% of it, okay, it was his fault.
There's always an excuse, isn't there?
Yeah, it was. I think the main idea behind it was kill his lord. That was the theme.
Yeah. So why exactly did you not target him until 5 minutes?
Because he was hidden in the forest, so I didn't know where he was. And Oscar had those artillery pieces, which were kind of just constantly raining down on me. So I was having to do a lot of micro with the cav. And then I realized that I can't send my cav into the forest. So
after you send them into the forest, you mean?
Well,
after you sent them in, then you realised...
I kind of had no choice, and they were rampaging at one point, which I didn't even realise the cav had rampage, to be honest.
Remember, Mitch, you always have a choice.
Yeah.
You always have a choice.
Yeah, so there was kind of one point where I think I took out one of his artillery units, and then I kind of got my cav killing some of his skirmishers, and that was going okay for about 5 seconds, and then it kind of went bad from there.
Pretty awful. Basically. Well, you're going to go straight back into the fray because it is the third place matchup coming up next. Now, Rich, you have been sitting there for a while, sort of twiddling your thumbs, thinking about what you're going to do next. So let's find out what faction you're going to be playing as.
Oh, spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel of factions. Now hold that up.
Hold it up.
Hold that up. So we can,
you broke the wheel.
Can we give that spin another go? Because I don't think the faceplate actually moved. I think you need to push it in. It's completely trashed.
Yeah, push it.
There we go. Try it again. Here we go. Skaven! That wheel cost us $2,000, by the way. Just want to point that out. Yeah. The Wheel of Factions is one of the most gloriously put together pieces of machinery in the history of all Total War. How do you feel about the Skaven?
Well, I've just seen what Oscar's done with it, so I'll have to try and repeat that.
I mean, they are a very powerful army if you play them right. They take a lot of micro though.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
And there's definitely some cheese you can bring.
Yeah, definite cheese.
I reckon we might see a Hellpit Abomination come out today. I reckon that might pop up. So, without further ado, Mitch, let's see who you're playing. Okay. Now, he wants his Lizardmen, right? He wants his Lizardmen. That's what he's after.
Go on.
Let's see what happens. If the wheel works.
You comfortable?
So break it.
Or is that a Skaven v Skaven matchup?
I think spin again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spin
Nope.
again.
High Elves.
Woo!
Okay.
Your favourite.
We haven't actually seen this matchup.
Yeah,
so.
Skaven v High Elves hasn't happened yet. Famously, we both went through to different battles, didn't we, Oscar? In the last battle. So we're going to see how that matches up. This is going to be pretty interesting. All right, guys, get to your machines.
Yeah.
Get your armies set up. We'll give you a while to pick up your armies, and we're going to go straight back over to the screens. We can just look at some of the kills that happen in that battle because it's quite funny. So obviously he's come in with a small army, and you can see just from the unit cards how little troops he has. But he's done a few bits of damage. That one Cold War Knights getting 110, the next one getting 89.
Yeah, but just killing Skaven slaves, not really means much. Oscar there, go to fix the wheel. Thank you very much. The Wheel of Factions taking some punishment there from Rich.
It's his strength. He's got the strength for 1,000 men, as you know.
He can't help it.
So here we are in the glorious new battle list, which, as you can see, is populated by so many battles as everyone is playing Warhammer 2.
I should imagine.
So let's see. We are going into.
I'm not sure which one it'll be, but this one
should be that one with the old password. You should know the password by now.
I've completely forgot.
The three glorious letters that we put together. That looks like the one. So, oh no, that is not Mitch's thing. It looks like we're going to have to wait. So whilst we're waiting, let's just have another look at those stat cards. So first of all,
bring them up.
Let's bring up Rich himself, and just because I want to see his position again. Now look at that for a photo. Now we told him to dress up as a sports fan, and I think he's done the job. What do you reckon?
He unfortunately it's like a mix of two different sports, but I'll let him off. It definitely works. That fist. Is actually something that just comes with Rich Aldridge.
Yeah, that's actually his hand. That is he didn't wear the one that we have on screen. That is actually his hand. We are spectating Magic Mitch over here. Let's put in the password, and we are good to go. Now, without we of course have to have a look at the second stat sheet. So let's bring up Mitch again, fastest man in Wales. Now, he's rocking the blue shirt. What do you think about this outfit?
I think his fashion is kind of on point. It fits his look, obviously, he's not going to be first place today. He's going to be probably fourth place.
Yeah. So you actually think he's going to lose this one?
Nah, he should win this one. I've got confidence in Mitch to at least not come completely last.
Let's have a look at the chat and see who they think is going to win this matchup. Is it going to be big old Rich himself, the DLC Lord, the man of muscle, or are we going to see Magic Mitch, fastest man in Wales, bring this one home?
I think it is going to be Magic Mitch. I think he's going to take Rich out.
Rich is playing as a Skaven, though, and there are some tricky builds you can come out with a Skaven.
I think if Mitch just plays it safe, he'll be fine, and Rich is going to try and take a very one-sided build again, and that'll be fine. Sometimes it really does pay, especially in 1v1 games, just play it safe and not to try and do something really cheesy like take loads of infantry like this. But that's okay, because that might work.
White Lions he's gone for there, so not the strongest anti-infantry unit that the High Elves have, sort of like a mid-tier. Obviously the Swordmasters of Hoeth are the strongest anti-infantry that you can take with that. Those great swords doing a lot of anti-infantry damage. and also piercing armor. So it looks like he's gone for some Phoenix Guard as well, probably anticipating maybe some Rat Ogres, stuff like that. Maybe the Hell Pit Abomination that we sort of teased. I like the fact that Rich's build is hidden from us, because I want to be surprised by what he takes.
Yeah, we're going to be surprised. Oh, Mitch isn't quite sure. So, Oscar, what would you be taking round about now if you were playing the High Elves against Skaven?
I'd take quite a few archers, archers would probably be a good bet, just because you're going to have to just go through those weak slaves or clan rats that the Skaven is likely to bring into this engagement. Swordmasters of Hoth are always a good shout. A cheeky Italmar Chariot can be a really good pick here, because Skaven are predominantly infantry, and they don't have too many armor-piercing units, and wouldn't expect the Skaven to bring too many Stormvermin halberds into the fight either. But yeah, like Executioners, Dragon Princes, some Illyrian Reavers can also be good, just because you need light cav to sort of chase down the routing Skaven.
Well, do you think Rich is going to bring an incredibly well-balanced and perfectly tuned build?
No, I think we're going to see some crazy.
Also,
me too.
You guys need to move up the couch so we can see your beautiful faces on the little frame that we've got there. So we're just waiting for the third place match to start up. If you guys are just joining us, we've got a few people in chat. Should we see what we've got going on? Drop the dragon, says MXV Rick. So he's gone. What dragon has he gone for there? That looks like a star dragon, is it? Yeah, it looks like he's gone for a star dragon. I'm thinking that might be slightly useful. Obviously, the Skaven don't have any flying units, so that's something that he can have a bit of air superiority.
Star dragon will be useful if Rich does bring a Hell Pit Abomination.
Yep.
Or a Doom Wheel. Like, Star dragon can deal with those. For like infantry and stuff like that, you probably don't even need a Star Dragon. Like a Sun Dragon would probably do a more cost-effective job.
So what would you be using Star Dragon for? What's its best purpose on the battlefield?
Basically taking out the biggest, baddest thing you can find.
What about Lords as well, or is it more focused on other monsters?
You generally want to, at least if you want to do the breath attack, you either need to ensure that someone is stationary, or then just shooting at a fairly big target. But in a melee, the Star Dragon is a beast. I think we buffed its health to close to something like 6,000 ish, and
that's a lot of health.
Over 60 defense. So it's not gonna go down quickly. But but for the price, you'd expect it to stick around and do a lot of damage. And that terror is gonna hurt the Skaven. So if Rich, for example, loses his general early on, it's just...
Yeah, that seems to be a good focus against Skaven, obviously, is kind of like aim to just knock out that leadership nice early on. And yes, okay, they're going to rally and come back in a lot of these fights, but not without a Lord on the field.
Yeah.
They're really brittle after that point, so that's their big Achilles heel, obviously, for the Skaven army.
Yeah, the Skaven really need to sort of figure out how to plant threats around their army, sort of to zone out like the big enemy hitters that might come for their relatively fragile lords in the end, because at least Krolk and Creek are both on foot. So you've only got the Grazier on the Screaming Bell and on the Warlord on a Rat Ogre Bonebreaker, who are a bit tankier, a bit more buff. But those guys can again take a lot of damage from projectiles. So
Yeah. I mean, I've got that feeling that the Skaven armies are going to be that kind of thing where they know the Achilles heel is in the Lord, and it's kind of like inviting that attack in so they can just kind of double back and just surround whatever's jumped in on it. Obviously, if it's ranged, it's going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
But if it's melee, flying, and cavalry, it's just kind of like, come and have a go, and then we'll just doggy pile on top of it.
And bear in mind, they do have some tools to counter that. So, for example, the Ruin Gracia can bring that spell that stops flying units in the air. Huge area of effect. So, if you go for that flying unit, try and get all of your flying units over on the Lord, you can just halt their presence in the air, last for quite a while as well, and you can really pepper them with those slingers, those death runners, those those gutter runners, sorry, and those guys can really do quite a lot of damage as well. If they've got a stationary target, then easy peasy.
Someone in chat says, "Start the game."
Well, here we go,
Mark.
sports fans. We're here in the plane of spiders. Here for Bark in the Park with C.A. Dogbert.
Star Dragon, Best Dragon, some chat. There you go. You got a fan for your Star Dragon there.
All right, so we're actually in one of our desert maps. So if you've not caught any of the streams so far, this is probably your first look at one of those glorious rolling hills of sand, looking very nice. And that dragon is looking very angry as well. So that is actually a moon dragon that Mitch has gone for. He's gone for quite a different build. Looks like he's gone for Tyrion on a mount as well. Quite a few white lions. And, of course, he's also bringing those Loth and Seaguard, the hybrid units of spear and arrow. What do you think about this, Dogbert?
They're very useful. I would always try and take them with shields, but I guess, especially against Skaven, when they could end up taking a hell of a lot of range, he's going to hide some of his calves, so he's going to take his reavers and set them down here.
It looks like that's actually going to go in his favour, because there's quite a few gutter runners just sitting there waiting. Now, the gutter runners have quite an interesting ability. Once they get too close to a unit, they're actually going to drop snare nets on that unit, stop it in its tracks so that they can try and get away, which is makes them very difficult to take down. Some warp lightning cannons coming out. Also some Death Glow Bombardiers, which is the upgraded variant of the Poison Wing Bombardiers. We are going to see that Bonebreaker mount, and that looks amazing. He's looking very, very cool.
That's awesome. I'm happy you brought one of those. I haven't seen enough of those in the game so far. Oh my god.
2 Doom Wheels. This is going to be an interesting matchup. It looks like he's gone for mainly a slave army, basically. He's taken a lot of spears, and then it looks like he's gone for more sort of like your standard sword infantry on the left. We've also got some plague monks there. This is a very varied build.
Yeah, game started straight away, and those
immediately
reavers going to have some fun. I think if this is just going to be a crazy game.
Yeah.
Those reavers are taking a bit of harm already from the gut runners.
It looks like they don't actually want to get engaged with them, which is interesting. And instantly we see a Great Eagle coming in to try and deal with those warp lightning cannons, and in he comes. Lots of Skaven slaves now going to come over and try and stop that threat. And it looks like Mitch is really trying to bum rush these guys, trying to get as many flying units in there as fast as possible, take out all of their units. And in come that warp lightning cannon fire.
That instantly just fried one of the warp cannons.
Ouch. Look at it. Well, that is Skaven machinery for you. Now, they're probably going to be shooting straight at that Star Dragon. They have an incredibly straight line of fire.
Sure, he's trying
which,
to fire,
as you know,
right?
is
well, he's not firing anything now.
For taking down flying units. But look at that. Moon Dragon, sorry, coming straight into combat.
That
And in come those Illyrian Reavers right in the back now, and that's going to be the end of those cannons. That is a lot of money that Rich has wasted already.
And he's just throwing away these Skaven slaves. He really can buy some time here. But yeah, he really should just stuck with his front line and be able to pick off his cav when they're coming in. But anyway, enough of that.
Doom Wheel. Now, the Doom Wheel is going to zap any target around it, and as it moves through these Loth and Sea Guards, you can see the amount of mass that it has. It can literally just zoom all the way through an entire unit if it just gets moved. And look at those explosions. My god. Now, these guys are crazy. They're probably my favourite model in the game. They look absolutely mental.
They're doing a lot of damage. Obviously, there's gut runners trying to take out the Moon Dragon here. This is a really messy fight.
Yeah, this is getting into some really weird territory.
This is a really good fight for Mitch here. Getting in his White Lions into Skaven slaves. They're going to make short work of these guys.
Absolutely.
That cav absolutely just murdering the artillery units at the back.
Tell you what,
this is a really bad matchup, and this is exactly what Mitch wants. He's using his lords here. You know, they're anti-large when they're on their mounts, and yeah, they're just taking out Rich's warlord here, and he's just going to make a run for it.
Now, the Bonebreaker is relatively fast, so it can actually get out of that conflict, fair enough. Now, had he used some of the abilities that the Warlord comes with, maybe he could have used that to his advantage. Queek famously has an ability where he can just explode everything around him, make sure that he can get out of combats where he's not winning. And that Doom Wheel crashing through those spears without a care in the world. Where do you think Skaven are going to win this if they can?
They need to, just the Doom Wheels need to be doing all the work, but the problem is that there's just a lot of spears on the battlefield here. That Moon Dragon is just going to be able to just come in wherever he needs to and just kill off all of the weaker spear units. And the cav is still on the field here. This is just a really bad fight for Rich here. Tyrion and Noble are just going to make short work of these guys as well. Just across the battlefield, it's not looking good. It's just Doom Wheels, really.
Tell you what, though, you've got a few high elf units routing, and the balance of power isn't too far in the high elf's favour. If Rich can bring this back, there is enough units on the field that he can get some surrounding, and we can see that now. Those Doom Wheels were backed up by a few Skaven slaves coming around the back, and you can actually see quite a few high elf units routing.
It's all about Rich just using all the troops that are routing and rallying to get back into the fight, because you know, he has a lot here, and Mitch is kind of overextended in a lot of places, so he needs to be able to bring himself back in. What he needs to do, though, is he needs to get this Warlord out of this situation here, away from Tyrion, and closer to some support.
He's trying to run past. Now, he's got a lot of units on the battlefield which can cause terror, which might be why we're seeing quite a few units trying to run away.
Yeah, I mean, because of his Doom Wheels are still up and running, this is where he has his chance. But it's all really down on that Warlord being able to get out of combat.
And it looks like he's just been
buffed everything up on him at this point.
He's got Rally, he's got Deadly Onslaught, so he's got quite a few things on him at the moment.
These troops here, they need to get in the way, and they need to just give his Lord a chance to get out of here.
These Plague Monks need to take a hit and just get involved, but I don't think Rich is looking over here, so they're just going to be standing around, having a whale of a time, just watching their Lord die. Oh dear. That is classic Skaven.
Oh, there we go.
Finally they're coming in.
He's watching a stream.
Now he's very low on health. Oh, in comes the dragon, which is going to make short work of those Plague Monks.
And that's going to completely change the balance of power in this game. With him being dead, I don't think the Doom Wheels are going to be just enough to do it, but you never know.
Those Doom Wheels are very strong.
Infantry are down, and it is just literally Doom Wheels at this point. These Plague Monks are going to do a lot, but, you know, probably not against the Moondragon.
I think the only thing Rich is actually paying attention to is those Doom Wheel, to be honest. You've got Tyrion chasing after it now.
Doesn't go up hills very well.
If you can get a cheeky hit on that Skaven on the back, you might be able to stop that Doom Wheel. Great Eagle there, just chilling, nothing to do. And you can see all of that siege weaponry. He must have got about 5 shots before they were taken out. They just weren't protected at all.
Yeah. Didn't quite go the way he wanted. Here's the other Doom Wheel.
Getting attacked by a Great Eagle now. Get a few zaps on there.
The epic conflict continues. Nah, he's just like, stop that, I'm going on to these guys instead. Much better choice.
Go for his own units now.
And why not? I love it, just shoots lightning over and over again.
Incredible. That Skaven's arms must be pretty tired. Pumping away. Sending in his gutter runners now for some hand-to-hand combat with a legendary
Going
Lord.
in and deciding maybe that wasn't a great idea. But then again, at this point, he needs to do whatever he can, really.
Yeah, he's
Where
running
did
out of
that fire
options,
come
and now
from?
we're going to see some of those units just completely shattered now. At least one that's not coming back now. And those Skaven slaves, they don't have the morale to last this.
These Plague Monks have held on for so long.
Plague Monks can be very dangerous.
You see, this is the thing, if he just keeps a lot of his units isolated, maybe he can do something here. He's just bringing in all the Doom Wheels to focus on Tyrion now.
I'll tell you what, Tyrion's taking a lot of damage. He's completely
He's trying to get
surrounded
away,
now.
that's why. Instead of fighting, he's just trying to pull out of this mess. But
Just charging into his own rats.
that might even break the Skaven slaves from their own Doom Wheel. Well, this is not what I was expecting to see in this battle.
He's just ramming into him now.
Cue Benny Hill. Well, he's gone.
He's
Is he actually low on HP?
No.
Oh,
yeah, he's pretty low, and is he? He looks like he's had a debuff dropped.
Oh
on
my
him
god,
as
they're
well.
going after the Moondragon now.
Moondragon now being taken out. These Skaven are doing a lot of work now. I'll tell you what, we wrote them off at the start, but they're just pulling back some balance of power.
This is where it gets dangerous though now, because Cav are coming in.
Yeah.
Mitch is starting to realise he's got a few routes. All he needs is one good charge from a few flanks, and you'll get a massive chain route.
He's
He
definitely
needs
going to try and take out that dragon just to make sure it doesn't come back. Yeah, he's
Needs
got his Doom
to
Wheels
target
going
out
after
the
that
Cav.
noble now.
That
There
dragon's
goes the
down.
dragon.
Destroyed by
my
Gutter
God.
Runners and Plague Monks.
I tell you what, you just never know what happens when you bring the Skaven. Skaven can do some crazy things.
Look at this.
Coming after that Cav now. Great Eagle coming in to battle that Doom Wheel. Doom Wheels are carrying this battle. Outrageous scenes.
If Mitch loses this one, like that eagle's done. Like you can see, here's the
Noble
rallies.
being taken down now as well. Yeah. So Mitch is just reforming on the hill now, just waiting.
So it's basically, you know, second round of this fight now. Mitch has reformed. He's got a good amount of units here. He's got some range, which are going to be targeting.
Plenty of ammo on that Lock and Sea Guard as well.
Yeah, and obviously they're spears, so they're going to do, you know, okay against the Doom Wheels. But it's all really about Rich being able to bring these guys all in at the same time. Good moves here, bringing the Doom Wheels around on the right flank here. I'm liking how this is going. That eagle's back in, and that cav is still threatening on the flank.
Ah, but those Doom Wheels are nowhere around to help now.
Yeah, this is why he needs to keep his army together. Oh god, I love Doom Wheels.
Doom Wheels can just do what they want, can't they? They're just outrageous. If you keep using them, they
need to
can
just surround this cav unit right now. Oh my god.
Now I'm guessing the Doom Wheel counts as a large unit.
Yes.
Just a bit. How are you finding this battle, Oscar?
It's very entertaining.
That cav unit is getting swallowed whole, and this is the danger of fighting Skaven. You know, they can just swallow you up.
Yeah, they can completely surround you if you only put one unit against them. Now one of the Doom Wheels is about to be dropped.
It's routing, it's not dead yet though. This is the big turning point. If this can hit in the back while these guys are engaged, we might get a big rout here.
This is bad news for Mitch. I just want to point out that the balance of power is even at the moment. So
he realised that Tyrion probably needs to come back. But that Doom Wheel, instead of just fighting now, is trying to chase after stuff.
Yeah.
He needs to just bring it back or just fight against Tyrion.
I think if Tyrion just
no,
yeah,
this
he's
is how
running
he
away
loses
from Tyrion, which means that he's going to take a lot more damage. Tyrion is faster.
He needs to just keep it near the rest of his troops. And now it comes down to infantry fighting.
Yeah.
And this is where it's going to go Mitch's way. Especially if these monks here lose. Rout, sorry. And here comes Tyrion to finish them off.
Yeah, Tyrion's the biggest threat at the moment. He's still got a decent amount of his health still left. Beautiful charge in there.
Right into the back of his eagle. There you go, and that's going to be the game.
Starting to see those Skaven rout out now. Victory is in their grasp, and that's it. Whew, my God!
Couldn't make it any closer,
He tried his best to throw that one. We're really showing you some of the crazy tactics you can bring in Total War Warhammer 2.
I think Skaven have got the viability to be probably one of the strongest factions in multiplayer because they have so many options, and you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, until it's almost too late, and you can try and come out there with a safe build, and then that can happen. And it really was the maneuverability of the Doom Wheels.
Yeah.
And like you're fighting Skaven, and as soon as you've won that initial fight, you try and complete the victory, and then you spread out.
Yeah.
And as soon as you spread out, they rally.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're hit on, and then
you're
instead you don't have one battle. You don't have one battle.
Yeah.
You have four.
Yeah.
All over the map, and you're unsupported. And Skaven just keep coming back and keep coming back, and it's just very difficult. One guy in chat that I don't like Twitch much. I think Oscar buffed Tyrion.
Only a bit. Basically, he went from 35% armor piercing to 40% armor piercing.
Oh, that's the key difference there. And look at Mitch. You don't smile. Don't be happy with yourself, mate. You almost threw that one away. I think Rich has got a lot to be proud of in that battle. Apart from maybe the start of it. So let's go over to the couch. So all right, let's ask Mitch. What was your tactics there?
Kill his lord and then make him rout. Which I killed his lord.
Yeah.
Pretty much instantly. But apparently a Skaven army can continue on without a lord for the whole battle. Didn't know that. I think that needs looking at, to be honest. Just like unbreakable on all Skaven units or something. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I thought I won.
So the thing about Skaven is like they might have very low morale, but they're very good at regaining that morale, which means that once they've run away, they've recouped themselves a bit, they can actually go all the way up to a full second morale, get back into battle, and that's where you really struggled.
And Doom Wheels, they're really annoying.
Doom Wheels are amazing.
They just have like loads of HP really quick. They're just kind of always like buzzing around you, annoying you, and you've always got to kind of like devote a unit to kind of go and like get them, otherwise they'll just like run through your lines.
So, Rich, you were picking your army earlier, and you must have been like a kid in a sweet shop, looking at all the toys that you could play around with. What was the thinking behind the build?
So it was definitely to go slaves because it would annoy Mitch, as we just found out. So that was going to be sort of, the main front line stuff, and then I really wanted to get some Doom Wheels in because I just love those units.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're great fun to sort of micro around and crush things. So that was cool. And then I had some, was it Gutter Runners, I think it was.
Yeah.
So just in case you had any big creatures like the dragons, the idea was to stick those in the forest there and then try and take it down. But unfortunately, he had an eagle as well. And he had a few big uns. And I was going to sit back and hopefully use my cannons, but his Reavers came straight out. And
key tip for you here:
yeah.
if you want to bring siege weaponry, maybe protect them.
Well, so I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and he should have finished me off sooner, really. But those Doom Wheels,
those Doom Wheels really carried you
wicked.
through, especially a pair of them.
I know.
Most people bring one, but a pair of them, that's dangerous.
The sound Oscar made where he saw your army, just like rubbing his hand, he's just like, oh, Mitch is in trouble here, possibly.
Oh dear.
I was chanting at the screen like, what are you doing? Don't do that! Run! Run away!
I think one big issue was that Lord got completely wiped out. Didn't have any support around him. I'm guessing you were looking at the Doom Wheels too much.
I was enjoying the Doom Wheels far too much. Let's be honest. It was fun. I towards the end I thought, oh, maybe I got a chance here, when I'd had those running around. He had nothing to catch it except Tyrion. Tyrion's pretty quick.
Yeah, he is very
horse.
fast on that mount. And that makes him very manoeuvrable, which means that he can go after those Doom Wheels. And as you know, when a unit is running away, it takes more damage.
Yeah.
So, you might come last in this, but you've won our hearts.
Yes.
well, at least I still got my job.
Oh!
I wouldn't do that to you.
P45s delivered to Mitch.
Well played, Mitch.
I think what we need to do now is to have a matchup between Rich and Guy. That would be the ultimate cheese off. That would be incredible.
Do you think Guy would stand a chance? I
don't know. After
Guy would get wiped out, but the wacky armies would be all over the
he
field.
Would take something crazy.
It'd be incredible.
Anyway, I think we have to rename you from now on, Mitch. Instead of Magic Mitch, it's Third Place Mitch. It's
fine. It's better than last place. I always try really hard in the last game just so I'm not last. You know?
I could feel it across the room.
Yeah.
So it's time for a final.
It is time for the final. Let's go over to our finalists. So, we haven't heard you from you in a little bit, Jackie. We've been asking the man of balance about his informed opinion. So how are you feeling about this final matchup?
I kind of hope I get Skaven now so I can bring like 10 Doom Wheels.
Yeah.
Because they look pretty insane.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. And Oscar, what's your plans for this one?
See what faction I get, and then put on a good show.
Okay, all right. I think Oscar's gonna take this one home. That's my best bet. But Jackie, you've got our hearts, you've got our support. Papa bless, you can do this. Let's pick up that wheel, let's give it a spin, and let's find out who you're playing. Make sure the faceplate is firmly on. Playing as the Lizard Men. Okay.
That's the only other faction I've played as. So
good.
That's
good. Very good. I like that.
All right. Let's see who Oscar is playing as in the wheel.
I want to see some Dark Elves.
Is a Lizard Men v Lizard Men matchup? Do we want to get another faction?
Spin again.
Let's get another spin.
Yeah.
Skaven. This is definitely a Skaven stream. How do you feel about that, guys?
I'm pretty nervous. I haven't really played against Skaven too much, and I know that you're really annoying. So I think you've already come up with an army just to completely destroy me.
But what about in game?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
That one didn't land at all. Flew over the heads. So
Out of the park.
Out of the park.
I think
There
for
we
this
go.
one, Dog, let's give Jackie some tips, as he's not played quite as much Warhammer 2 as
what
as
should I
Oscar has.
bring?
I think he needs a heavy infantry build here. So try and avoid the dinosaurs, because there's a lot of anti-large weapons.
No,
that Stuart can
don't
bring.
avoid dinosaurs.
Bring Master Mundi.
Yeah, bring Mazda Mundi, bring all the dinosaurs.
20 carnosaurs. Like we did on the stream
Okay.
20
yesterday.
carnosaurs.
Yeah.
20 carnosaurs all day of the week.
Exactly.
KFD.
Yeah. The Dino Wing.
I was playing against Oscar earlier, and I took 6 Saurus Scar veterans. I put them all on a Carnosaur. Yeah. And I almost won. That's how good dinosaurs are.
That's what I did in our free-for-alls. I just took a very movable Lizardmen army and was just like, yeah, what are you going to do? I just like, hey, look, there's a fight over there. I think I'll just join in and then get out.
All right. Without further ado, guys, get over to your machines, host a game, pick us a beautiful map. Let's do this. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Let's have
someone hasn't got their pass.
Somebody forgot their key card. Let's have a quick look at the stat sheets one more time. Coming up with JackieFish, the community champion. Here he is, rocking my haircut. Total YouTuber.
Your haircut.
Yeah. I mean, he probably had it before me, but I was on stream with it first, so technically I had it first. So JackieFish, you're a big fan of his content, of course.
Yeah. It's obviously doing a lot on Arena at the moment, and he's been in the community for a very, very long time. So I've commentated on his games in the past. He did a great job against Rich, and I think this is going to be actually quite a good matchup. I think Oscar's out for something to prove. I also think if there was one faction I would be worried about Oscar playing, it would be an army as deep as the Skaven.
Yeah, lots of options.
For his kind of playstyle, and someone who's always trying, even in the game where he lost against Mitch last week, he was pulling Mitch out of position.
Yeah.
And I think the power of Mazamundi and like the net spells and magic really kind of swung it back in his favor. But there were early game things like Carnosaur being pulled out of position, kind of like trying to pull your units back to worry about flank attacks. Those are the kind of things you see top level players do, just trying to make you always feel you're on the defensive, make you always second guessing and never really giving you the initiative. So that's something you're going to see from Oscar, and kind of from what I would expect from JackieFish is kind of a similar kind of response that we saw maybe from Mitch. I think he's going to move a bit inwards. I think he's going to give map control to Oscar, and I think Oscar is going to lead from there.
All right, so let's look at the last stat card of the day. We're going to be looking at the most recent loser, but could be first place or second place in this battle off. So we're really seeing the quality come out from Oscar Anderson, associate battle designer on Warhammer 2, and of course the creator of Free for All. So he knows all of those cheesy builds to bring, but he likes to bring a nice balanced army and just play like a very traditional style of Total War, I think.
He just doesn't believe in cheese.
Yeah. Rich disagrees.
You need the mic close to your mouth if you want to join in your heckling. So there's so many people who are just like, they just like watching hopeless baseball games. That's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah, we don't play baseball. We play football.
Yeah, how dare they say these things? So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting one. I think I'm going for Oscar. What about yourself?
I reckon JackieFish might bring this one out. Just because you're going for Oscar, I'm going to back up JackieFish.
Sorry, like my water just went down the wrong way when you said that. Why?
It depends on the build he takes. If he takes like a really strong heavy infantry build, Temple Guard, stuff like that, things that the Skaven don't have a proper answer for, that's where he's going to win this one. And we kind of saw that in my humiliating defeat in the last round.
Oh yeah, you're great at Skaven.
Yeah, of course, because I went up against very heavy infantry, right? And those guys that I brought just weren't equipped for it at all. So I think that's probably what he's going to have to do.
Well, that's what he thinks. What do you think, Mitch? Third place, Mitch.
I prefer Magic.
The terror
Mitch.
of Horsham.
Can we go back to Magic, Mitch?
Nope.
Third place, Mitch. How about you never come third place again? Then maybe you'll get Magic Mitch back.
James, you haven't even played yet, all right? You can't say anything.
You can't handle
You're too
me.
scared, James.
You can't handle
All right,
me.
at least I'm man enough to play.
Don't make me come over there.
Come over here, James. Go on, bring that fist.
I'm lock and loaded over here. You stay over on that sofa. It's safer for you over there.
The Total War fist.
So yeah,
but yeah, Oscar.
Oscar, yeah.
Oscar, yeah.
This is the consensus.
He's very good. From what I saw of Jackie against Rich, Jackie was kind of very, very static. So I think, like you said, James, Oscar's very good at like micro. I think he could pull a static player apart quite easily.
So how about Rich Aldridge, Mr. Fourth Place
What do I
himself?
reckon?
Yeah, who are you picking? We're 2-1 right now. So where are you from?
I think I might go for Wheels' brother of another mother.
Thank you very much.
I think I might go for Mr. Fish himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Oscar might just play a bit too cool. you know, be a bit relaxed now. He's got 1 win under his belt, and I think Jackie might just be there just to sneak in.
All right.
Well, that means we need someone else to help us pick. Jess, who do you think is going to win? Everyone in this room's picked now. You have to make a decision.
Oscar.
There we go.
All right, so it's free to Oscar.
2, you know,
Two to Jackie.
mediocre Mitch
Obvious
over there.
choice.
Mediocre Mitch.
Mediocre
I love
Mitch.
that.
Who said mediocre Mitch
No,
in
I
chat?
disagree. All right.
Someone said mediocre Mitch in Twitch. Oh, damn.
So
I'm playing
loving
against
this.
the highest
Good
level
job,
players
guys.
here. Okay?
Whilst those guys are setting up their army, by the way, if we do see Oscar win and he crowns himself as the king, can we see an Oscar v Dogbert matchup?
One day in your dreams.
How about at the end of this stream?
I can't do that to him though.
I think he's scared.
We
I
can
think
only
Dogbert's
do
scared.
this if we're literally.
Yes.
I only do Conor McGregor money. You know, it needs to like.
You are
$10
the Conor
subs.
McGregor of Total War.
Of course I
Mouth
am.
bigger than anything other than your body.
I'm bigger than that guy. Who is that guy? I can't even say any of these catchphrases. They all end in an F word. So here we are. We're going to go for the final. Someone in chat falling here at Dogbert's Nuts because he thinks, well, you know, I don't have 37 in my name. I have number 1. Right, Ashen Plains.
He's scared. Ooh, this is an ominous little battleground for our final.
This is chat's dreams of watching me play. Anyone else? It's just Ash. All right, let's have a look at the army that Duck has brought us. Sorry, have I really upset lots of
Somebody in chat asked for a Plague Furnace and somebody else asked for a Screaming Bell, and it looks like we've got on both of them.
people? This is amazing.
So that means 2 spellcasters. So we've got Ruin on the Grey Seer, and we're also going to see the Lore of Plague on that Plague Monk over there
So
on the
he's
Furnace.
taken a load of cheap spear units. He has a Warp Lightning gun at the back line there. You know, he's got his casters, Plague Priest. Oh my God, these just look so
cool.
So
Have
Can
you
we
guys
go over
noticed that every time Oscar plays, he plays half in a forest?
Half in a forest.
Every
that's
single,
his
every
tactic.
single.
he's got strategy. I don't know.
Can we
should
go
strategy for
over
sure.
to the Screaming Bell because I want to see that incredible animation.
It's a bit like his homeland, right? You know, out there, the Finnish saunas
In
the
Norway.
woods. In Norway. It's in Norway now.
With all the seals. So you can see the Grey Seer like riding on the bell there at the top, which is just amazing. It looks so cool.
Wow.
Having a great time.
I just like this guy down here. Right, yeah, sorry. There is another army in the battlefield. Is JackieFish with his Lizardmen army. He's gone for some cold ones with somewhere. There they are. That's 2 units of Spear Cav.
Okay, they're pretty tonky.
He's gone for some Skink cohorts, you know, make up his front line.
Yep.
He has gone for Mazamundi.
He protects, he attack, and he also rides lack. It's Lord Mazamundi sitting at the back.
Wow. How long have you been working on that one for?
Just made it up right now.
Okay. Croxicors. And I think he's got 2 of them. I would always take 2. I think he's only taken 1. So yeah, most of his front line is taken up with Skin cohorts, which is actually a good idea.
Yeah, he needs those numbers, right?
Yeah, and he's got Solar Engine. He also has his Sword Scott Veteran.
Those
Someone's been
guys
listening.
are tanky.
They are very powerful, and they also have the Cold Blood ability. Where is it there? Cold Blooded, and that gives big replenishment, but obviously, you know, drops your melee stats and speed.
Which means you need to bring them out of combat, get your health back, and get back.
So I'm going to say Mazamundi is going to get shot by Warp Lightning a lot in this battle.
That's exactly what happened when Mitch took it against me.
That shot there
going for the
was
Saurus.
on the Saurus Warriors.
Interesting.
I bet the next shot isn't, though. Look at them. I think they're lining up.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're going to
moving
shoot.
around.
Do you know?
You never know where they're going to shoot. It's the Skaven. Oh, bam. Look at that. Going for the feet.
Doesn't care. Like, he really does.
So much health.
So you can see Ducks sending out some infantry here, really just to slow this engagement. You know what? This is kind of a good army for. This is good. This is really good for JackieFish, as long as Mazamundi isn't dead by the end of this missile engagement.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's brought some spells that are going to help him out.
This is going to be a bad fight, though.
Yeah.
Stormvermin are going to be able to hold this line quite well.
You'll see him just switching up his front line there, baiting him in. And these are some of the tactics that Oscar can bring, which makes him such a good player.
This is actually, this is going to be a really good fight, I feel. You can see those clan rats have been out there really just to catch out any cav trying to do the long range stuff. Those spears are coming in through the middle here. I think he's trying to get at this cav. Croxicore is coming straight in the middle. This is Storm Vermin are so good for just holding the front line.
Yeah.
And Mazamundi's taking some hits here.
He's taking so much artillery damage, but he's still tanking out.
Oh, hello! I heard you wanted a Saurus.
That is going to stop the fire, definitely.
That lightning fire coming straight down.
So this is something that the Skaven are known for, of course, firing into the back of their own troops to get the damage on the enemy. They don't give a damn, and that's 2 of those.
This flank is shattered. This flank has been absolutely shattered. You see Skaven rushing back, and you can see at the back here trying to reform a little, but it's all about the magic here and the casters. And you can see this is where it's basically on this side. JackieFish has won.
Yeah.
And on the other flank, Oscar's won. This is going to be a really close battle.
This is where who can surround first, basically.
Yeah.
He's taken out quite a lot of the anti-large threat from Azamundi now, so he can just bring him, just keep him back, keep him safe.
More spells coming down.
Although he's charging straight into Storm Vermin there, which is a bad idea. He needs to be careful.
I think the things that are the biggest worries, the Saurus Warriors, Scott Veteran. Oh my god, big spell coming down.
What's he dropped there, James?
I think that's the limiting of Arcane Shield,
the old ones.
Magic Resistance and Leadership. So that's a really powerful spell, and more importantly, just looks absolutely amazing.
Looks incredible.
So yeah, as you can see, this flank over here very much going in the favour of the Lizardmen here. Masamundi about half HP. The Croxicores are just going mental at this point.
Tell you what. This is looking pretty good for JackieFish.
It's a shame that he lost his cold ones quite early on, because if he has them up now, they would be very good to target these guys out.
Now, one thing with those bells and furnaces and stuff, he has got the solar engine there. I didn't see that sneaking in, so he can just take out those furnace and bell units from the side.
Oh, big wind breath all that.
So that was Crack's Call, I think, which is one of the breath spells that the Skaven have. It's quite short range, but lots of damage. It can literally wipe out an entire unit if you position it correctly.
This is dangerous here. The Plague Monks are charging down Mazamundi. He needs some... he really needs to be a bit more mobile with his Horse Warriors. But there you go. He's going to go for the for his Grace here. Plague Priest, sorry. And this is just a really good use of the Saurus Warriors. Try to target out.
Shove that Harmonic Convergence on there as well to give him that boost of stats.
This is a really good game. Like, this is coming right down to the wire here. Both players are putting in everything they have here to try and get a bit of a control. This is dangerous. Storm Vermin, along with Plague Monks, are going to surround the Saurus Scar Veteran here. He needs to get him out of that combat as quick as possible.
I think for now he can leave it to the Solar Engine. That Solar Engine will do the damage on that Plague Furnace, but he needs to get out of the way.
So Mazamundi here, he's backing off a bit. There's obviously a hell of a lot of routing going on the Skaven army right now, and he really needs to just trying to regroup a little here. This is where the numbers of the this is kind of like the second win of the Skaven army. The initial fight might never go their way originally, and here's the Ruination of City spell.
Oh, that is a poor place to drop it though. Such a big clump of units there that he could have pushed it on.
Yeah, it just didn't hit what he wanted, but he does.
That Plague Priest is gone.
But he might lose his Saurus Warrior here. Out of control now, and he is just swamped. And that might be the thing that swings the balance in this game.
Now that Saurus Warrior is out of control as well, which means that he's going to be difficult to bring out. Definitely need some big spells to drop on that clump of units.
There's some magic being dropped down. Not sure he's going for.
Oh, the vortex! He doesn't care about the Scar Veteran. He wants to do as much damage as possible to that big old clump. Unfortunately, it's going on his Croxicores now, which is going to be really difficult.
That's fine, though.
It looks like those Storm
gives him a
Vermin
chance to get
completely routed. I don't know where this is going to go.
That's a massive rout on the Skaven. They've lost their Lord, and more importantly, they just lost a big chunk of their army.
They haven't lost their Lord. Their Lord is over there on the side on the Screaming Bell. The Plague Furnace was taken out, which might have been the poor strategy. I feel like he should have gone for the Screaming Bell instead, as it had the Gracier Lord on it.
So obviously, Croxicores not routing, sorry, they're rampaging. But that's fine, because he just wants them to keep fighting. There's a lot of rallying going on for the Skaven. They're regrouping in the woods here. You know, the Lizardmen right now are low in number, very low in number. And you know what? This solar engine is doing so much here.
I think it's just run out of ammo though. So, but now you've got a Bastiladon to come in. You know,
yeah, indeed.
A Bastiladon that hasn't been used for the entire battle. Dropping a net now. I wonder if he's going to drop something else as well.
He needs to follow up to
this.
He
needs to follow up. You can't just keep him there. You need to do something to him. He's got him against the ropes and no hit coming in.
Nothing. That would be a perfect time for the Ruination of Cities. I don't think he had it just yet. I think he's already placed it down maybe once or twice already. I think it only has 2 charges.
Completely broken that unit there with that tiny.
He's sending in the Basilodon with the solar engine on top into the fray there.
Now, does he have any Storm Vermin left? Where are the
yes,
big threats?
loads.
Okay,
he
so
has
Storm Vermin
loads.
are on the front there. That's the big threat, especially with Mazdamundi getting involved there as well.
I think Oscar might be able to steal this one just at the end here. You can just see the numbers game is definitely playing their way.
Oh, and then dropping that leadership bonus as well.
That's a shield. The old ones are down again. This is on top of his 2 big monsters.
Now it's Lord v Lord, Mazdamundi going after that Grey Seer.
And let's not get the Saurus Skull veteran is still there.
Yeah.
And he's still fighting.
Does he have cold-blooded? Because as soon as he comes...
He won't be able to put anything down because he's lost control of it.
My God.
There are some rallying troops coming in here. And the Croxicores, they're not really done yet. They want more action, and they're going to get it. And this is the danger, really, now for Skavens, because if they get a big another chain route like that, that might be the end of the game for them. Good idea to take the fight into the woods here.
Yeah.
You know, and really, when your troops are routing this and are out of control, it's best to just keep following as everyone. And there you go, a unit's been wiped out, and that is going to be his Lord.
Oh
this
my
might
goodness,
be it.
that could be it.
Mazdamundi is one of the...
He's
he is so dangerous in this game.
Absolute beast. When he's on his mount, he can destroy people. And that is actually now the Screaming Bell that he needs to target. That is the Lord. He still hasn't taken the Lord out.
He put Harmonic Convergence down as well, so he's got melee damage in this one.
26.
But he doesn't have any other troops left. This is it, basically. It is Mazdamundi. And he's done so much on his own.
Now, where's that other Bastiladon? Is that still
I think
taken
that
out?
died. There they are. They're running.
Oh my God. No, that was the Saurus Scar veteran. I wonder where that Bastiladon is. There it is. Right. So it has been routed. It's being chased through the forest. Not dead yet, though.
No,
but
this is going to be it.
Mazdamundi on his own isn't going to be able to do it.
Mazdamundi can't really get to... Oh, I say he can't get to
trying to
him.
crash into that Lord. Trying to drop that chain route. He is causing terror.
Oh, his morale's about to go down. That's going to be it. That's going to be the game. But, man, that one came right down to the wire. And you couldn't ask for a better final. Oh, my God.
Oh, so
Get
many
out the
bodies.
way.
And he's dropping that morale bonus now. Hopefully that's going to bring him back in. This is... You can't call this fight.
He's routed. Like, they're terrified. He's running.
Routing him. If you can just get after him and drop that kill on him, that could be it. Could Mazdamundi win this one?
There's a Arcane Conduit coming down, and I think Mazdamundi at any point...
That's the death of the Lord!
But Mazdamundi himself is shattered.
Oh!
I think Oscar just got it at the end there.
My God!
And we don't actually know who won. I'm just assuming, but it was Oscar.
Pyrrhic victory for
Oscar there. Wow.
Oh my God.
Mazdamundi got 291 kills on his own. And
what
just
a
bashed the table and just turned your screen off. That's how crazed you were about that game.
That is Total War Battles multiplayer.
That was an epic battle.
My God. We need to send that over to all the YouTubers to do their report on at the end. In he comes, Rocky himself, he went the distance. Went the distance at the end of the battle. Went the distance, mate. Went the distance. Didn't win. Went the distance. That's what you need to claim now.
At least I managed to kill the enemy Lord. Whew. So I can take away.
There he is, triumphant.
He's down. He's here.
Pure luck.
Pure luck. My God. Right. This is going to be an interesting one. This is definitely going to be an interesting one. So, here we are, back on the couches. Who do you want to talk to first? Do we want to talk to JackieFish or do we?
I think JackieFish. Yeah. What was the strategy there? What was the bunch up a bit? So, what was the actual strategy? I see you went for a load of skin cohorts.
Yeah, I tried to out-rat the rats by just bringing more of them to try and tie down, because I think the skinks are pretty good and they can probably beat the enemy infantry. So there's no point bringing Sauruses who are just going to be so slow to actually get to the battle. But I also made a mistake of shooting his mage instead of his general with all of my sunblasts, and I accidentally killed him instead of the general. So I think that's what lost it for me in the end. Yeah, if I could have killed the general, then... Had
you targeted those guys in the other order, then you would have got that morale debuff from like mid-game, and that would have been a completely different story.
I also messed up a little bit with my clumping on my units as well. And I had no idea what Maz's magic did as well, so I was just pressing buttons and hoping for the best.
I think one big point, you dropped Ruination of City, and it went completely the wrong direction.
I was just clicking buttons and hoping.
So, yeah, I mean, that was incredibly close. That was one of the best finals I think we've ever had. That was
Closest.
absolutely brilliant stuff. Oscar, what did you think when you seen an army of skinks emerging from the woods?
Well, first thought was, oh shit, I've...
Language, Oscar!
Sorry.
Thank God.
Second time, you get docked, you get docked money every time you swear.
I'm the one that gets fired. You know?
Your P45s are on the way. You're just reduction in salary.
Basically, skinks meant that I would win the infantry fight, but it meant also that some of the spells I've taken to basically take out a block of swords warriors just wouldn't have that target. And also I very quickly started regretting not either bringing a Hellpit Abomination or a second Warp Lightning Cannon, because I had two big vehicles that really didn't have the damage output to deal with the big dinosaurs, which I should have known were coming.
What, are you saying the lizardmen bring big monsters? I did not know.
I mean, I did get rid of the skinks very, very painlessly. But I had the firepower and the spells to do, it, so that was okay. But then after that, it was just a struggle to take down the three big dinosaurs, and yeah, I think I got saved by army losses, because if we actually had fought that Master Mundus Terror, probably would have done me in.
I think he got like 300 kills towards the end of it. It was pretty insane.
291.
Yeah.
So he didn't even hit the Ruination of Cities, like dead down somewhere. Like that spell literally could one-shot what was left at the end of that game. And I was just like, if it had gone and he didn't put it in the right place, there would have been no Oscar left to have a close battle with at the end there. So
well, I mean, it's Ruination of Cities is a bit unreliable. It's more like a vortex wind in that sense. So you definitely want to place it somewhere where you can expect that if it travels in any given direction, you'll hit something. A bit of RNG.
And me not knowing what the spell does as well probably helped you a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah, but like the big lesson is, don't bring both the Plague Furnace and the Screaming Bell against the Lizardmen. You're going to struggle.
Well, that was an incredibly good game. I think Rich, as his boss, you can crown him now. Crown him as our new champion.
This is what we were playing for.
Oh,
I would have tried a lot harder if I knew that.
There you go. You are now the king of Finland.
So, the chat want to know, Dogbert, are you going to stop being a lily-livered little coward and face the new champion on air right now for the Conor McGregor matchup?
These guys are going to have to wait. And when it happens, it will be promoted from coast to coast. And it will be the greatest show match the world has ever seen.
This guy, he won't put his money where his mouth is. You're fine playing against the AI on the day streams, but you won't come up against Oscar.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to shake his hand.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it on, okay? And then we're going to play, right?
Yeah.
And all chat can get chat want it. If chat want it, I'll go over there, shake
Come
his hand.
on!
Make it happen.
All right, I'm going to have to pass over. Oh, watch out for the wires. Oh! That was off screen, Dogbert. That was off camera.
We shaked hands.
Yeah.
He's going back on the deal.
He got nothing. He gets nothing.
Outrageous. You just have no shame, do you?
They want it. They're going to have to wait for it.
Oh my God! It looks like the fight isn't going to happen.
No.
You just
one
no
day,
respect. No
but
respect
not
whatsoever.
2 days.
All right, thanks very much for joining us. Before we go, Jess, would you mind moving over to camera 2 on the computer? Sorry, computer 2, not camera 2. That's the one. We do have one thing that we can just announce for anyone who's been watching the stream. You don't have computer 2. Oh, 1 second. I'm just going to talk about it whilst I get that running. So basically,
on this one.
If you can get it up, yeah.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Totalwar.com/blog/Mortal Empires. Basically, we have been pushing out some news whilst this stream is going on, which means that we have a thing to announce, and we would just go over to the Dogbert computer here. Here we have the Mortal Empires blog. So we have some more information on the combined map. We have also revealed the 3LC array, or at least half of it, Dogbert. So if you want to have any more information on that, I'm going to drop the link in chat right now. You can go and have a look. There's plenty of cool stuff to read up on it. Loads of things that you can speculate about. We've got a new Mortal Empires campaign map, as you know, coming. We've got a new Legendary Lord, an experiment, whatever that could be. We've also got new Legendary Lords for other factions coming as well. So plenty of stuff to get stuck into. So have a look at that after you finish this stream. But thank you very much to all of our contestants for coming through. Well done to Oscar for being crowned the new king of the stream. I knew it was coming at some point. I knew it was coming at some point. But most importantly, thanks for watching, and remember, see you soon.
And remember, see you soon. But not on the battlefield against Oscar.